I'm getting ready to play this video for y'all to describe exactly what happened this week. And again, shout out to Blaze.
Captain Sam, can you hear me? On your left.
This is what last week looked like. Blaze made it, y'all. Shout out to Blaze.
Keep on back! 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 Keep on back!
Is that everyone? What do you want more?
Avengers!
Assemble.
These cops got me
Give
rolling.
me that. You have the little one.
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are.
You will.
Now, I'll try to do it a straight face, y'all. W Blaze. Blaze.
I'm gonna drop out and come back in, but good morning, good morning. It's not loading right for me.
Okay. So if y'all want to know what last week felt like in a nutshell, it's kind of interesting watching last week play out the way that it did. Keep in mind, this video, when did you do this video? Let me see. Put the date on there. A month ago. See, the way things was going on this app, starting to think Blaze is a little psychic. The video was amazing. but I'm sorry, it for sure described exactly what happened. Everybody in their mind was going at it. Understand? Everybody you could think of. Not one creator. What's good, Sobe Trina? Y'all already know Trina gonna
Good
be here.
morning, Bella. Good morning,
Good
Faye. Good
morning.
morning, Trina.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning. Good morning.
If y'all are here to be jurors, go ahead and request up. Go ahead and request up now.
Trina, I just want to say this real quick. I'm proud of you, Trina. You've been doing real good.
Thank you, Sobe. Thank y'all in the comments. Thank
Yeah.
y'all. Thank y'all.
If y'all been here for Trina from day one, we love to see the process.
Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely love that for her. I mean,
Sometimes you got to let people, you got to give them that time to grace and grow. That's it. They don't go on your terms, right? It's on theirs.
that part.
Thank y'all.
Thank you guys. Good morning. Good morning, Trina. Where the whip?
It's outside. Get
Y'all know
down
Trina
so
got a car,
late.
y'all.
Go,
Yeah, y'all tell
Trina!
me Trina got a car,
Let's
y'all.
go!
Trina doing her thing. Trina went and
Yeah,
got
we
a
didn't get
whip
home so
yesterday,
late. I ain't gonna
y'all.
lie. Thank y'all.
Congratulations, Trina.
Trina, they said we
Thank
got to go on
you.
a field trip downstairs now, Trina. They said you taking us on some field trips. We don't
Okay,
walk
I'm
the
gonna take
street,
y'all
Trina.
outside
We
when
got
I
to
go
get in
out
the
to my
car
car.
with you. Trina, we don't walk down the street with you. We done been everywhere with you. We want to get in the car with you now, Trina. Come on now.
I'm gonna take y'all out there when I get in my car for work.
All right. Well, y'all show some love. Let's go ahead and double tap up the screen. Good morning, Blaze. Good morning, Sobe. Good morning, Most Hated. Let's get Bella up to about 90K likes right now. Let's get the live shared out too. Let's get about 100 shares out here. Continue to grab your heartbeats as you guys walk through the door. I'm going to go ahead and drop back downstairs, Bella. I didn't come up to be a juror today.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. So there you have it. Again, we done see some transformations happen on the app. Trina, she done had her highs and lows like most of us, okay? We got to be able to celebrate people when they're up because when they down, don't waste no time talking about them when they down. So make sure you keep that same energy when they up and thriving, okay? Gotta make sure we create balance. And on that note, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this is how this is going to go. Because there was a multiverse, and I do not mean that in an exaggerated way. This week was a legit intertwine of multiple platforms that just so happened to be connected. One live is listening to the next live. That live jumped over to this live. So I'm telling you now, don't ask me who on the docket because y'all know everybody on the docket. And I do not say that in a jokingly way. All of your faves that you like are on the docket. No one is exempt. Everybody got into it this week. So the way we gonna do this, we gonna hear what happened. I'ma call out their name, and you only got one job. Guilty or not guilty. That's how we doing it today. Because I don't got time. This one versus that one, and then that one versus this. It's literally a ping pong back. No, you want to hear everything that happened, and I'm gonna call them out by name. Guilty, not guilty. You won't stress me out today. And thank y'all for the gifts. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that too. Now, I need y'all to do me a solid. Before I press play, two things. Shout out to the Bible. of course. Shout out to the vloggers, but most importantly, on behalf of Leola, I need everyone drop doves in the chat. We're going to have a moment of silence on behalf of Leola. Leola had taken a loss in her family over the weekend. So we want to drop doves in the chat in support of her. There will be no disrespect to her, okay? We are not tolerating that. Let's give a moment of silence. Thank y'all. Much respect to you, Leola, and your family. We get ready to start the clip. Please, I don't ask for much, y'all. The only thing I'm requesting is that we run the likes up. We want y'all to watch the show. And the only way to do so is to keep the live up and healthy, okay? Don't worry about the gifts. Just keep the live healthy. That's all I'm asking for today. Shout out to Butter. She's celebrating her birthday weekend. Much love to you too as well, Queen. And again, if y'all here to be jurors, let us know so my moms can bring y'all up.
When I first started fucking with Kel went cussing women out. Kel would advocate for what I would advocate. Y'all think they were coming call these women bitches and hoes. So that was that.
For context, first situation that popped off this week was the Kev and Rick situation. I got you misunderstood. Miss Pearl, hang in there. We good. First situation was Kev and Rick. If y'all aware of Kev and Rick friendship, they've been rocking and rolling for a few years on the app. Things took a left turn, and we're going to get the context as to why. And thank y'all so much for the love, by the way.
Kel got locked in on my platform. He wasn't doing that shit. He was checking nigga like I was checking nigga. So we ain't gonna make him like Kel been disrespect the women the whole time he been on. That ain't been his move.
Okay,
he gonna start that shit after player ball shit, and that's what he been the type of energy that he been on. I'm not on that type of time. I'm not gonna defend that type of shit. I'm not gonna be attached to that type of energy.
You have to. Honestly, that's not. You are Kev. That's not your place to even have to defend nothing like that. So anybody bringing it to you, I'll be looking at them side eye like, why are you talking to me? This is Kev doing it. I don't condone it.
I do that all the time. I've been doing that. But
right. So again, that's what I'm saying. None of that stuff should be even affecting y'all friendship. That's what I'm speaking to. Like none of that stuff.
I ain't mad though. That was the thing about it. I don't have a problem. Only problem I got is motherfuckers will judge me based on what a nigga that I fuck with do. So they come in and with that shit. I don't want
problem. Not you and Kev problem. That's a them problem.
it become my problem and my wife's problem and my kid problem eventually. Though. You know what I'm saying? They already done start saying her name, so it's just a matter of time before they start putting my wife in the back. I'm gonna stop that before they even get to that. I don't want none of that.
Morning,
I don't want no parts of people dragging my wife across no fucking internet, holding lives for 9 to 10 hours. I know how this shit works. I'm not new to this shit. I don't.
One moment. What's good with you, Rose?
Good morning, bailiff me.
So, we got extra security. Rose going to help us hold it down today. Also, shout out to Rose in the Garden with the limp combo. They be doing their thing. Check our website out, y'all.
Just because I ain't on the best side, don't mean I don't know how the fuck they get there and how the fuck they rock. I know how this shit go. So, and I can see it coming. And they already slowly coming at me, throwing bullets at me, throwing shots at me, throwing shade. It's just a matter of time before they get the fuck out of me and put it on my wife and my kids. So before that, I define that.
So I'm gonna say this: if they doing that shit, they doing it intentionally. I feel like they are.
I put the ball in Kel court. Kel the one said, I'm staying who I am. I'm standing on my motherfucking business. Ain't nobody can tell me what the fuck to do. I am who I am. So I got to respect that. Just like I got to respect him, his position, what he got to respect what I stand on. That's just how that shit go. Because what he doing affects me too. Ain't no way what my partner doing should be, what he doing, as long as it don't affect me, I'm cool with that shit. But what he doing is affecting my family, my wife. So that's the only problem that I got with it. If they hadn't never said nothing about Victoria, I would have been cool. Do you?
That's why I feel like they did that shit purposely. They doing that shit purposely. Like again, like I said, you already said you don't have a problem with the wheelchair bringing of your wife, but I feel like that shit is done purposely. Like this is the plan.
Hey, Miranda.
Remember that live they had when they dogpiled you, and it was like a couple weeks after the Players Ball they had came. All the women were coming at you, talking about why you hanging out with Kev and all this stuff. They've been doing that, and they've been planting that seed ever fucking since.
Right, but and another thing I got a problem with though, what I'm saying is, if Kel fuck me like that, why you recapping the live and going over that shit? Just talk to me on the back end, call me on the back end. You got my number, ain't shit changed, I got the same number. Don't go live and sit on. Hold on. Let me say that. I'm saying going live and saying some subliminal shit. When you saying y'all can kiss my ass, you usually put a name on.
Also, we have Alicia in the audience. Wake up and make up, Alicia. Eats down. Definitely bond with the makeup too, y'all. So we got some folks over here. If y'all want to do some networking, hit them up.
So you got me feeling like you talking about me. I'm not going to change for nobody.
Thank you, Nisha.
If you ain't there, you don't get the message, then tell them I said fuck them too. You got to be direct once we, especially going through this type of shit. Be clear on what you.
Hey, Mad Max.
That's the shit I'm talking
Philly
about.
Beats, I see y'all.
Ain't no way in the fuck you going to tell me that you feel like
Thank
I'm
you,
breaking
Mr.
you over the nose. And you feel a certain
Thank you,
way
Poozy.
about my live, and then it's a live recapping what I said. And
just my opinion was good, baby.
You talk about everybody but me. Nah, man, I ain't stupid. I know what's going on. Now. I'm not slow. So what I'm saying is,
I'm not going to speak for Kev. I don't know how his feelings, but he did mention that he woke up to that live and that whole live was about him, a whole panel.
I didn't even go to sleep when I was in the live. I seen folks in the comments, Rick fucked up for that Kev. He done you wrong, and I can't believe Rick said that. And like they surprised that I defend my motherfucking wife. I don't play about my wife, man. I'm not gonna have no compromise in that when it comes to my family, my kids. I ain't no understanding. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. I'm really lying. I'm being about my fault. I'm really lying about this shit.
What I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. I'm only going by what he said on my live last night, is that he woke up to that live, and you were publicly saying and having a whole panel and live about him.
I went live by myself. I can't stop folks coming over there. Them folks came over too. I didn't call for nobody, ain't sent for nobody. I went live by myself. The folks come on the panel, it with questions up, and I let motherfuckers in the box. But when nobody dragged him though, so it don't matter. It don't matter who the fuck I got in my live. All right, let folks drag him. When nobody you can't go bring that back. Ain't nobody said nothing about his teeth. Ain't nobody said nothing about no motherfucking money. None of that shit. So it wasn't no drag.
I can understand that though, right? But again, like let's just put the shoe on the other foot. If you woke up to a live where he having people in the live, not even just dragging you, just talking about you, not in the great, trying to even put you in a good light or nothing like that, do you think you would have felt some type of way?
you gotta ask them about that recapping shit. Why you recapping a live, throwing subliminal shit? That's the same thing. That's why I went live. That's why I went live. That's why I went live. That's why I went live.
I'm just trying to stick to this point. I can ask
what I'm saying is, for every action, it's a reaction. You don't get to go live and throw subliminal and say little shit like that and then think I'm supposed to go live and say that. It don't work like that. If he ever went live, exactly. So that's why I went live. That's why I went live after I talked to him on the back. He live. He went live one time, then went live again. I'm looking at the comment. A lot of folks were saying,
so you went live because of the conversation that y'all had on the back end?
No, I went live because before that I was in the live and folks got them saying stuff in the comment. And he was saying don't say that about Rick. He was saying, hey, don't come my comment with this shit. I know me and Rick got a little issue we got going on, but don't be saying that. Man, them folks, a lot of folks in the comments saying Rick fucked up for that. He a traitor, he fake. I was in the live. He didn't check no comments. I didn't tell them folks. He didn't check them folks. So you can't get mad when I go have a live and respond to what the fuck what being said on his live. That's all I want. I seen the live. He had the live first. He recapped it. What are you recapping it for? Instead of calling me so we can goddamn, if you really cared about the friendship, you call me. You don't go live and goddamn recap shit and throw no subliminal like I ain't gonna catch what the fuck going on. I'm not slow. I know what's going on.
I got you. All right, so I didn't know all of that. More likely he'll respond. Well, I'm gonna have to get off for a while because I gotta pick up my kids. I appreciate you coming up, Rick. Hopefully we can get
All right. So in a nutshell, we heard what Rick had to say, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Talking in circles.
He's a whack ass friend.
He was defending himself with a response.
We want to know who they are.
That was a lame friend. That was a whack ass friend.
How? That man got a wife. What is he? So he's supposed to just say, well, I don't care what y'all say about my family. See, this is where I have a problem with Mrs. Sock. On the one hand, y'all be like, oh, well, these men don't say nothing to their friends. Y'all don't ever check y'all friends. Y'all let y'all friends get away with whatever. Then when we see a man be like, you know what? Okay, it's getting a little bit too much. You're going a little too far. I got to say something to my homeboy. Say something to the homeboy throw a fit. Now y'all mad he said something? Y'all don't know what y'all want. Like, are y'all nuts?
So Trina is he waited all this time and then he lied. He said that Kev only started after the Players Ball. That was a lie. Nigga, you was right there with him when he was doing what he did.
I will say I feel like Kev has been crashing out since the Players Ball. Now I'm not too familiar with his behavior beforehand. I know he did, argue with women. I don't know to what extent, but I do feel like he's been going extra hard since the Players Ball.
I agree, Trina. That's what I was getting ready to say. It's like a time bomb set off in his head. And he is just, I don't know. He's kind of dangerous to me now.
I'm not saying Kev was wrong either because some of the shit that the woman did to Kev, you know what? Like, he crashing out. That's on Kev. But I'm just saying Rick was right there so he can't act like this just happened after the Players Ball. That's what I'm saying.
I do have to be fair and acknowledge the fact that there were certain things that were happening before his Players Ball that would cause him to kind of, get into a space of crashing out. People were saying that they wanted to meet up at his Players Ball or they're coming to Atlanta for the Players Ball, insinuating that people can link up and fight and so on and so forth. And that was bothering him. So those were a few things that was happening. I can't deny that wasn't happening. So I can see the frustration that Kev would have because he wanted safety. From that safety kind of conversation, that's what led up to Nitra saying she wants to make sure that she's safe because there might be people who may not like her. And she asked about the safety of the Players Ball. Now, Kev kind of took that and thought that she was being shady towards him when she was just genuinely asking a question that anybody would ask if you hear multiple people on social media talking about meeting close to the Players Ball, near the Players Ball, at the Players Ball, and inciting some type of violence.
Yeah.
So from there, he was already on edge because he was hearing these threats already happening. And so when Nitra, who had been supporting the event, was questioning, what's gonna happen at the ball? Like, is there security? I just want to make sure I'm safe. I don't got time for that. I came to just have fun. I think that may have triggered him, and I think he put a lot of energy on Miss Nitra that she may not have deserved for real because of the other stuff that was already happening. And then for the players' ball to happen, and then someone to get hurt or hit or harmed or something that will set somebody over the edge. So I can't sit up here and deny what would cause him to be crashing out when all the things that he promised wouldn't happen essentially kind of a little bit happened.
You know what though? I'm not gonna sit here either and say that Kev is going too hard on Miss Nitra because she's done said some foul stuff herself. So I'm gonna let fair's fair, Kev. Do what you do.
Okay, but this is about Rick and Rick's
Yeah.
response
But
to
somebody
Kev,
got
correct,
hurt on
Bella?
that price bomb. Somebody got hurt in that Paris bomb, so it wasn't
Hey,
really
I didn't get
safe.
hurt, so stop all that. Wasn't no
I
hurt,
think I think you
baby.
did get hurt.
But you
I
shouldn't have
think I
been
didn't get
hit.
hurt, and we're not gonna make this about me. True enough, I shouldn't have been hit, but again, the lady said on site. On site happened. I walked away with no scratches and bruises. Kev took care of that situation. We already established that him and his law enforcement made the best decision for them, not me, but them. We have moved from that, but this is about Rick's response to Kev. Correct, Bella?
And so the
Correct.
reason, so I brought up that information only because regardless if you like somebody or not, you can still acknowledge all of the things that cause someone to get to a certain point. You can acknowledge, like, okay, this was happening, this led to this, and that's why he's feeling how he's feeling, whether you like him or not, right? And so, with all of those variables added into it, and especially other individuals saying that they was gonna come and harm people, whether they were joking or not, people, you know what I'm saying, a certain type of statements being made, I can understand why he would feel how he feels. And so, with Rick saying that he had been crashing out since the players' ball, that is essentially accurate because of all the things that were happening. Everything has a response. Every action has a reaction. So he was responding to a lot of things that was happening. I have to give him that.
Okay, let me ask this question,
Hey,
y'all.
Bella.
Excuse me, first, Ira. Is it safe to say that, okay, I'm going to be straightforward. Is it safe to say that some people kind of were waiting on the fallout or the crash out between Rick and Kev? And now that it's here,
That's
it
true,
seems,
Poozy. They was waiting. A lot of people
No.
yeah, a lot of
plotting
people
on
been
it.
waiting for this moment.
No.
Okay, Bella. So the problem I have with this, right,
But that's what
is
every
that, of
friendship
course,
on here. Y'all know that.
exactly, Trina, and I'm with Trina and Rose because they too have both pointed out both sides from these men. They have pointed out both sides, and I think those two women stand to be accurate of what they have seen from the outside, just looking in. I feel like both of them explained it well. And to me, since both men have a point, I think it's only fair if they both listen to each other. But I will say, the way that this app is and the way these people conduct themselves, they want to see friendships go through it. They want to see people fall out. You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If Rick didn't come out and say nothing in defense of his wife, if Cab didn't say nothing in defense of his girlfriend, then niggas would have still been tripping and talking crazy. And then everybody wants to overlook the BS that Nietzsche was even saying to Cab in the first place. Everybody want to overlook what was happening that led up to a lot of this. Even for Rick, everybody's overlooking the basis of why everything started. And I just don't think that's right. These people on this app will destroy a friendship. Of course, everything has to run its course on this app. But I swear to God to you, they so happy that this relationship has failed. I am upset with Rick
I'm
and
not
Kev
happy.
for allowing it to happen. I'm upset with them for allowing it to happen because we could all see that this was coming if it had anything to do with these low down motherfuckers on this app.
Well, can we be honest though, Auntie
100
Pearl?
though.
Based off of the information that we've been seeing,
No, I only
and
came
even
up to say that. I'm not talking to y'all and answering no goddamn questions because y'all
okay,
not saying
that's
what y'all
that's fine.
See
questioning
you
and
later.
y'all be
See you
bogus.
later.
No.
Bye
Okay, that's
bye.
fine.
See you
So
later.
I wasn't trying to ask you any questions. I was just picking up where you left off. Now we do have to be fair and acknowledge the fact that the only people that can ruin a relationship are those
Thank
individuals
you,
that
Rose.
are involved.
Thank you, Rose.
Agree.
And so even if there are people trying to come at your relationship, whatever the case may be, the only people that can harm it are those people that are in the friendship. So we've been hearing Rick actively say, I do not like some of the things that Kev says. I try to have a conversation with him on the back end about it, and I'm just tired because I keep catching strays because they think that me and him are the same, even though I keep telling him to stop. I've asked him numerous times to stop. He will not stop. And so at a certain point, Rick even said out of his own mouth, you left me no choice. Now I have to go live and I have to separate my character from yours because they
Right.
keep saying that me and you are the same, and we absolutely are not. And because you're my friend and because I don't check you in public, they think that I'm tolerating it. So now I have to say something. And from there, Kev felt like he was being thrown under the bus, and he even said those things. So a lot of things exist at one time. I'll shut up. So I'm
And
dominating.
And
Say
I'll
something
say
real
that
quick.
when I heard Kev's response, it did feel like he admitted that he was hurt, and it was the fact that my homeboy said that I could be me regardless. That would never affect our friendship, our relationship, our platform. And look at where we at now. My friend is saying that I've affected his platform, and Kev did say he have to take into consideration those things as well. So it was like a slap in the face to Kev, for Rick standing on his part of his business. When it went on whatever happened on the back end really should not have came to the front end between their decision.
I think
I
both of
agree
them are
with
some big crybabies. Both of them are some big crybabies.
I can
They
agree
get
with
in front of
that.
the app. Cersei Kev is a big crybaby.
Most hated.
Let me ask y'all this: do y'all
Most
feel
hated.
like Nitra really pushed it to Rick to get him to come forth on
Absolutely
the front
not.
end?
I
No.
don't think this decision had anything to do with Miss Nitra. I don't
Me
think it had
neither.
to do with anybody else. I think that it had to do directly with Rick's wife. I think
Right.
as a
Agreed.
husband, this is what Rick is supposed to do.
That's
I
right.
wouldn't give a fuck if my homeboys was doing some stuff. If my wife didn't like it, then that's where I'm going. Cause happy wife, happy life type shit.
Yeah.
So
I think it all kind of contributed,
I
though,
think
frankly.
that I
It
think
all
that a lot of these
contributed.
I
I
think that
think
a
it all
lot of
did.
these men that are trying to call out Rick, it's the same men that sit around and they allow Kev to be disrespectful a lot of
There you
times.
go.
We got to start calling this for what it is. A lot of the times, a lot of these black men on this side of the app, y'all allow the disrespect, but y'all look towards one man to do it all for y'all because really it's given that some of y'all are pussies to say it yourself. And Rick was really the one that was able to say it straight up and
That's
call
right.
it out and say, hey, this is getting out of hand. You are being a little too disrespectful. And we
Hold
got
up,
to stop
Frankie.
it
Hold up,
sometimes.
Frankie, because we're saying that Kev was being so
Thank you,
disrespectful,
Bianca.
but I mean, you got to understand what he's supposed to do. Sit back and let these women do what they do
Hey,
to him.
so
That ain't how that works.
I'm gonna
That
keep it
ain't
a
how that
buck with
works.
you. So I'm gonna
Disrespect
keep
is
it.
met with
So I'm gonna keep
disrespect.
it a buck with you. So a lot
Disrespect
of
is
the.
met with
So I'm gonna keep it a
disrespect.
buck with you. A lot of you men get involved in women's business when you shouldn't even be in it. Let these women argue. Stay
Frankly,
out of
that's a
it. Be
word.
a man
That
and
is
stay
a
out of it.
word.
Be a man and stay out of it. A lot of the times y'all hop in these women's business, y'all insert yourselves, and then you guys get mad when these women be disrespectful. Stay the fuck out of it.
But I thought
Just
men.
sit back
Okay,
and stay out
so
of
I
it.
got a
Period.
question
But
That's
for
how I'm
y'all.
disrespect is
feeling.
met with disrespect, right? And it don't
Yeah,
matter if
don't
you
insert
insert
yourself.
yourself,
No,
because guess
somebody
Ain't
what?
got to
happened
When you
again.
disrespect
If two
somebody, you're
women
gonna
are
get
arguing,
disrespect. Now don't
if
go
two
around
women
Okay,
are
here
hold on. Let me
arguing,
ask the men a
crying that I'm
question.
a woman and you disrespecting me. That's
but
why you on the internet
if
crying.
two women
Like,
are
cut it out.
arguing,
If you
why? But
disrespect somebody, you're gonna get disrespected right
Toby,
back.
if two women are arguing, why are you getting in it? Why are you involved? If two women are going back and forth, why you as a man feel like you got to come and protect who? These are two women. Who are you protecting? Y'all never step up and get in an argument when there's two men going on. Or if there's a man coming at a woman, y'all don't step up. Y'all sit back and y'all allow it to happen. And then when one man comes in and says, hey, this ain't right, I'm going to say something because this ain't right, then all of a sudden...
happened, though. That ain't what happened, though, because that's his homeboy. That was his homeboy.
That's what you're doing now.
But, hey, he had to check... He wouldn't have had to do this to his homeboy on the front end if his homeboy
what happened though
on the back end.
What happened though? Because he let this shit go on for months. He let this shit go on for almost a year. Like that ain't what happened. He continued to be boys with him. He met his wife. He met his kids. Like, come on now, they was friends off the app. Let's keep that up.
I got one thing to debunk that.
No, that's not true.
I got one thing to debunk that though. Why did anybody else step up and have it happen? Stop it. Why did it have to take for it to get this far to where it was about Rick's wife for anybody to say anything, period?
People did say stuff to Kev, but they can't stop another man on the internet from doing what he's doing. That's the point. Nobody stopped nobody on this internet from doing what they're doing.
Because we're on social media, it's not really fair to say, well, this is
I've been trying to say this for the past few minutes. Hold on, Rose.
Came up here to shake the tables.
I got a question for the men. Y'all all, okay, why is it that y'all only want to be made differently than women when it comes to actual things? When it comes to y'all emotions, when it comes to the things that y'all tolerate, the way that y'all speak, the way that y'all behave and communicate, it seems that, we all on even playing fields. But then when we start talking about things like actual activities or how many bodies you have, a woman's supposed to do this, a woman this, a woman that, a woman is a lock and a man is the key and all that other BS. Y'all either want to be different and masculine and grrr and beat on your chest or you don't. Because you can't in one hand say, well, we're men, we can be different in this way. But then when it comes to emotions and communicating, y'all not different, everybody's the same. How does that work in y'all's head?
Well, I think that men are held to a certain expectation when it comes to the
disrespect. How you gonna answer and you ain't no man?
Well, so I'm not. I thought it was a hypothetical. I didn't think you really.
Oh no, I'm asking them directly. I mean, you can say what you want though, but I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
We do hold men to a higher expectation, but I am sick and tired of y'all women running around here. Y'all think y'all can say whatever y'all want to say to these men? Y'all disrespect these men. Y'all cuss them out. Y'all call them all kind of beat words. Y'all cannot talk to these men any kind of way you want and think they're not going to say anything. Is Rick in the right for checking his homeboy about the disrespect that he don't represent? Yes. Is Kev right for bucking back and saying, nigga, hold on, this bitch was talking to me crazy first? Yes, both of them are right at the same fucking time. They just disagreeing. Y'all hoes think y'all can run around here and talk to these men any kind of way.
I know you dummy for
y'all go in here. Listen, I never heard me talk to a man like that. I never heard me call a man. Listen, shut up, Bella. I never heard Lisa call a man out of his name until the day that she called Kev out of his name. They think they can run around on this app and cuss men out, call them out like their name, talk about their wives, talk about their children, and then after they do it, they expect the men not to say nothing back.
If not more intense.
I expect for a man to be bigger and better than a woman and not tongue wrestle with her. But I know the reality is, ain't no man gonna let no woman keep talking to him crazy and disrespecting him, and he ain't gonna say nothing back. I got 5 brothers and I mop the fuck out of a whole lot of you hoes for talking to my brothers crazy simply because I don't want them to go to jail.
Not me.
Say something to my brother out of line and he can't smack your face, I'ma handle you.
What did you say about my brother?
So you
I'm with you, Aunt Pearl. Like I said,
y'all out of line.
if a female kills my brothers, they ain't got
They gotta show them their man. You telling me that they gotta show them their man and let y'all disrespect them?
Say something to your brother and you
y'all telling me that they have to prove their manhood by allowing disrespect. They have to prove their manhood by allowing y'all to disrespect them. And if y'all disrespect them and they disrespect y'all back, now they no longer a
being put
man?
down.
Fuck
That's what
y'all.
you're trying to do. You mean to tell me if you say something to a man he don't like, he can put his hands on you? That's how a nigga get put on
No,
a
that
shirt.
ain't what I said. If I walk up to him and call him a bitch
Now
ass
you done said
nigga,
your piece. Now you done
if I
said
walk
your
up to
piece.
him, let me tell you
said
something.
your
You walk
piece,
up to
girl.
my
Now
brother
let
and
me
call
say
him a
mine.
bitch ass
You
nigga and
said your
disrespect
piece.
him,
Now let
and
me
he
say
can't put his
mine.
hands
I
on
need
you,
you to
I'm
mute
going
up.
to fix
You
you.
said your piece. Now let me say mine.
No,
Thank
because you ain't got nothing to say. You part
I
of the
do.
women
I do.
that
So mute up for
listen.
me.
Hey,
I
Bella,
do. So
listen
mute
to
up for
me.
me.
These
I
women
do.
want
So
to
mute
sit
up for me.
here and make a man
I
claim
do
his
have something to say.
manhood by allowing them to disrespect him. If he got to claim his manhood by
Please shut
allowing you
up.
to
You've been
disrespect him,
going.
you ain't
Okay.
shit. That makes
Okay.
you
You've been
not shit.
going. Okay. Like I said, y'all want to be different. Men always, oh, well, women are emotional.
Well,
Women aren't logical thinkers. We're the logical. We're the logical thinkers. We're the ones who think straight. We're not super emotional. But then in the same turn, say if somebody say something to me that I don't like, I'm going to crash out and put my hands on you. That's silly. That's the complete opposite of what men claim to be. That is my point. I'm not saying don't say anything at all. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is crashing out because a woman, especially on the internet, a woman that you don't even have to interact with, do you understand me, has said something that you don't like. That is not the thing in which these men claim to perpetuate. Y'all such logical thinkers, but somebody say something you don't like and you climbing up a motherfucking wall. Where's the logic in that? That's my
Okay,
point.
Trina, I
That's the men
understand
that
what
defend
you're
the
saying,
women.
Trina, but
Don't
that's not
confuse
what I'm
them with
telling
us.
you.
Y'all comparing the men. Hold on, bro. Hold on, y'all. That's the
Excuse
men
me.
that
I was
defend the
not
women.
finished. Go ahead and
That's
mute
y'all
up,
men
Matt.
over here
Go
doing that
ahead and
shit.
mute up,
So
Matt.
stop talking
Go
about
ahead
who's
and mute
supposed to be
up, Matt.
logical.
Go
Because
ahead
the
and
men
mute
that
up,
say
Matt. Go ahead
women
and
are
mute
as
up,
Mac, are you a
Matt.
logical
Go
as
giver?
ahead
men,
and mute up,
that's the
Matt.
ones
Go
that's
ahead and
fucking
mute
over
up.
y'all.
Go ahead
So
and mute up,
don't
Matt.
bring us
Go
Are
ahead
you a
and mute
up
up,
in
Matt.
witness?
an
Go
equation.
ahead and mute up
Deal with
because
the
I
men that
wasn't
defend
done.
y'all over here.
I wasn't
Don't bring up
done.
the
I
red pillars
wasn't
in there.
done.
Don't talk
I
about the
wasn't
logic
done.
that we
I
talk
wasn't
about or any
done.
of
We're
They
that
not
can't
shit.
hear
talking
Because
you.
about
it ain't
red
us
They
that's
can't
pill. We're
hear
arguing
talking
with
you.
y'all
about
They
women.
Rick
can't
and
hear
It's the men
Kev.
you.
that
They
defend
can't
y'all,
hear
and I'm
you.
gone.
They can't hear
And I'm
you.
gone.
They
It's
can't
the
hear
men that
you.
defend y'all
They
that's
can't
up here
hear
arguing with
you.
y'all,
They
not
cannot
us.
hear you. They can't hear you. Anyway, I never said Pearl said that. I said that. You talking about if my brother can't slap
Thank
you,
you, Bella.
then
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna be the one. Your brother slapped me because I said something he don't like. You won't see the nigga again, and I'm not playing.
You better join them.
Okay. So
And
I do.
won't.
So
Now
And
I
wherever you
gotta
gonna
go
won't.
with
send him
Pearl
So
on
to,
this
can
one.
you better
I
I'm
know
say
with
you
something,
going
Pearl
please?
on
to.
this one.
You
Can
won't
I
see
say
him.
Wherever
something,
you sending
please?
my brother to, you better
You
know you
won't see
going
him
with
no
them.
more.
You better know you going
Okay.
with
You
them,
won't
because
see
I'm
him no
sick of
more. Y'all
y'all
better
women.
prepare to fish.
I'm sick of
So
y'all
Prepare
women.
to
I got a
fish.
sister. Listen, I
Prepare to
got
fish.
5 brothers, and we don't even
Prepare
walk. I
the
don't even
fish.
talk to my brothers the way
Prepare
y'all
to
talk to these
fish.
dudes on this app. Y'all kill me. They got to justify their manhood and prove
Prepare
their
to
man
fish,
by
boo.
accepting
Prepare
y'all
to fish.
disrespect. And that shit'll
Prepare to
never
fish,
make
boo.
sense to me.
Prepare to
Keep
fish.
y'all men, keep
okay,
y'all
can
motherfucking mouths
let
off
me.
these men.
Okay,
Keep
Prepare
one
to
them
fish,
second,
out.
one
boo.
second,
Y'all
one
do too
second,
much.
one second.
And
Prepare
then
to
the
Because
minute
fish,
they
boo.
sit up there and
because
say, bitch, get
I
out my
think
face.
Prepare to
y'all done
Now
fish.
got
it's, oh, you shouldn't talk to me
got
like that
triggered a
because I'm
little
a
bit.
woman. If you
Prepare
gonna
to
stand
Y'all
in
fish.
know
front of
when
a
they
man and
record
beat your
y'all on the
chest and
blogs,
act
they
like
can't
your
hear
balls is
y'all.
bigger than his,
Prepare to
I'm trying
fish.
to tell you, a man, another nigga that don't
So real quick, right? Can y'all tap the screen and share the live out?
And prepare to fish.
And grab you a heart me while y'all at it and hit the gift goal. Thank you. But
And grab the
this
fish.
is a
And for the
prime
I
sake
just
of
example
the
hold
of
on.
Trina,
bloggers,
I
Let's
can
let's
feel
you
do
you
all
it.
with
Let's
that,
talk
do it.
one
Trina.
at
But
a
you're
this
gonna
is a
have to
time?
prime
Trina,
example of how two
Trina, you're
No,
men
gonna
y'all
have
operate.
not
to you're
gonna
gonna
talk
have
one
to
at a
protect yourself
time.
how it is. But what Pearl is
Rose,
saying,
tell
a
them
lot
to
of you
talk
women
one
just
at a
talk this shit
time.
crazy on this app.
Y'all,
And
the
then y'all don't expect for them to
conversation is
respond.
turning
That's not
into
Who
fair.
something
said that?
else.
Who
Right
said
now, this
that?
No, I'm not
conversation
talking to
is
you,
about
Dream Bean.
Rick,
I understand
and
what
the
you said. I'm just
conversation
saying
is
in
about
general.
Kev.
Somebody
Right
got to stop
now,
talking
the
so only one person
conversation
can
is
be
about
talking.
Rick, and the conversation is about Kev. And so, right now, based off the information that we have, we're only basing it off of people and their their words, not anything physical. These people are not going to approach each other. They're not going to harm each other physically. I hope not. And so with this conversation, let's get back to the topic of Rick and Kev. Rick deciding to remove himself because he does not like the things that Kev says out of his mouth. Some people are saying that he is being hypocritical because he sat there and he tolerated it. He sat there and he watched it happen. Some of those people may or may not have been his mods. And so that is where the problem is lying in this conversation. With context, if a person is calling someone out of their name or speaking to their looks or whatever the case may be, If a person, because Auntie Pearl is speaking to Nitra calling Rick a BAN, right? And so we also have to remember that, yes,
You met
sometimes,
Kev.
often, yes, thank you. So oftentimes we always remember the harsh words, but we ever remember the small things that lead up to a person then popping off, right? And so I can't sit up here and deny the fact that Miss Nitra got called a couple fat, a couple big bitch, fat, this, that. Well, he didn't call her a bitch, but
She
he
was
called
a
her fat and
fat
everything
back
in between, right?
something.
She was a couple fat backs, a couple ham hocks, and this, that, and the third. And so she popped off, right? And now at this point, we're essentially attempting to police Miss Nitra's responses and then saying, well, he's a man. You shouldn't ever talk to a man like that. However,
No, nobody's saying that.
hold on. I get you. I'm bringing it back in because some people did not know that was part of the situation. Some people were making it seem as if though Miss Nitra just woke up one day and called Kev a BAN, and she did not, because she was supporting his event. She was in fact promoting it. She was telling people to come to the event and come see her and come see Rick and come see Kev. So it doesn't make sense for her Miss Nitra to wake up one day and call Kev a BAN for no reason. Something happened, right? So what happened?
Yeah, because she held court.
Right.
She
So what
held court
happened?
about the ball.
Hold on, Auntie Pearl. I got you. I'm not look, so she made a statement talking about the security. So we're bringing everything back to the center. She made a comment about the security because she heard in these streets on the curb that people was coming to his event and acting like they wanted to do something. They wanted to squabble up. Ms. Nitra said, "I want to make sure that I'm." Ms. Nitra says, "I want to make sure I'm safe."
But you're way off base, right? Because you're dragging this.
No,
Listen, Bella, listen. This is the prime example.
Rosette, I just want you to press fast forward real quick.
Everybody
That's all.
on mute. I can Pearl. Right now. I'm gonna tell y'all how we're gonna shut this down right now. We heard what Kev had to say, right? Let's relax, because technically we didn't even hear what Kev had to say. We heard what Rick had to say. So before we jump off the deep end, we still need to hear Kev's perspective. So let's relax for a moment. Let's slow it down.
Okay, can I say this and I'm gonna drop Bella? Only thing I want to say is this is a prime example of how we are in this world. You got one man that may slap the ish out of you for disrespecting him with your mouth, and you got another man that feels like, no, I'm never going to put my hands on a woman. I'm bigger, I'm better, I'm stronger than that. You can't hurt me with your words, woman. This is two different type of men. Okay, they have two different outlooks, and this is the example that we have here. So one man gonna avoid you, get away from you. The other man may slap you down on the ground.
That doesn't justify.
Auntie Pearl, don't leave because hold on, Auntie Pearl, come back because we're gonna need Auntie Pearl to help us understand what Kevin mean in this clip.
Somebody gonna put that motherfucker down thinking he slapped somebody because they said something he don't like.
And Trina, that's what makes the verdict already guilty, because the one who do the slapping, the one gonna be guilty. So this is like open closed case, but we do still need to hear Kev's side, Bella. And I think Auntie Pearl should come back so she can help us understand what Kev really means.
No, she's not Kev. So and respectfully, if we're gonna
she know that man so well, Rose, you gotta give it to her.
She could know him. She can fold him and she can hold him. It doesn't take away from the fact that her defense is biased because she love that man. She
said both of them.
So hold on, Poozie.
It sounds like everybody up here is
the sequence.
biased.
The sequence. I'm not being biased though,
because nobody's telling the truth about how all of this started.
The sequence of events are not being told. So there are sequences, there are causation, and there are reactions to these things. And so all I'm bringing to the front is Kev didn't just get disrespected by Miss Nitra. That's what she was speaking to. And she also says she knows that. So her essentially calling Kev a BAN was a response to something. That's all I'm pointing out. Period. So, and the response came from her asking about security. That's how all of that started, with Nitra and Kev. She asked about security. That's it. And then from there, it was a trickle off effect. Why did Rick get involved? Because she contacted Rick and asked to have a conversation with Kev on the back end. That's how Rick got put into it.
That's not true.
That is
That's
true.
not true. They had a
That's what they
conversation.
all have
We
said.
talking
They had a
about Kev
conversation.
response to Rick and Rick response to Kev. We ain't even talking about big dog Miss Nitra going big in this bitch. Shout out to the Aries in this
They had
motherfucker
a
because it's Aries
conversation
season.
about.
We
They had
talking
a
about Rick
conversation
and
about
Kevin.
the ball before the ball, but Nitra attended the ball, so they evidently had squashed their issues during the ball and after the ball. But then they started attacking. But then they started attacking Kev and making sly, slick comments about something that he put his money and passion into. So that's how they fell out again. And so when you make
Thank you,
sly,
Drop.
slick comments toward a person, please don't feel like they need to humble themselves and bow down to your sly, slick bullshit. That's what happened. That's what triggered Kev again. So when I say people are being biased, y'all like to stand 10 toes down with y'all favorite creator when they do inappropriate shit. I'm sorry, inappropriate shit to people. And Kev wasn't standing for that. And he doesn't have to.
Right.
And I don't have a problem with Nitra, but as I heard, Nitra was the one that called him a bitch ass
They
nigga
act
on
like
Rick's live.
Nitra don't just start with
guys.
people.
Let's go ahead
Nitra
and get
literally
Nitra,
start
and
with
again,
people.
okay,
I
guys.
have no problem with Miss Nitra. I have no problem with Miss
It
Nitra.
don't matter
And I
if you
heard
follow it or
what
not. They
what
gotta
called
call
him
him
a bitch.
Kev.
Order.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get back to the case. Real quick. Some of y'all give the energy that y'all will turn the other way while the creepy uncle does his thing. I'm gonna go ahead and drop back down.
Okay, so we're going to hear. Let's hear Kev's
No,
response.
Frankie, there are creepy aunts too. Let's not forget that,
The
Frankie.
judge is talking.
There are creepy aunts, Frankie.
That don't mean nothing. The judge is talking.
To insert real quick and then we can listen to him. This is why I was bringing up the series of events so that we can understand, because just like how it was brought up that he was called a BAN, it wasn't brought up that she got called all kind of fat whales and big back and everything in between to warrant the response. And so, like I said, everything is causation. Something happened to require somebody to respond in that fashion, especially if they were supporting a man, especially if they were there advocating for a man. So you go from supporting him, his event, wanting to come to his event, telling his people to come to the event, and now you're calling him a BAN. Something must have happened. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead.
Nothing has to happen with Nitra for her to
It has
be
to happen
triggered.
with Nitra. I don't
Well,
want her to
maybe you
call.
should play Rick
I don't want her to call
first
somebody
again and then
another
go
man
straight
and
into
call
Kev and
honesty.
not get them
Ain't
passes
nothing
in a row.
happened. Stop the cap.
The slightest thing can happen and Nitra will curse you out. So y'all stop playing in our face. We watch it every day on this app. The slightest disagreeing with her, you will get cursed out. So don't try to implicate him for doing something violent.
I will say
Just
this.
because she did it don't mean, just because she called him a bitch ass nigga, don't mean that he did anything that's deserving of it.
Bella, everybody in the
So I'm just going to
downstairs,
speak to
everybody
you.
downstairs wants us to get to the clip. All of this sidebar crap had nothing to do with the dang ball. None of that. It is about Rick and Kev. Let's get back focused.
So I will say this. I don't know what happened for her to call him a bitch ass nigga, but to speak to that, to say that she won't do it without, in a response, I was called that by Nitra and I never call her out her name
That's
before.
what I
So
said, Blaze.
I was called a bitch too for just disagreeing with her. So y'all
We
come
ought
on
to
now.
been a
I'm just
bitch.
Come
speaking
on
to
now.
that. That's all I got
I'm
to
the
say.
one started Miss Nitra on the bitch shit that
Okay,
day that they
so
had that shit,
can
but
I say
everybody
this
bitches.
though? Respectfully, Nitra is not the one on trial. Let's get back to.
Thank you.
Remember that live they had when they dogpiled you, and it was right. It was like a couple weeks after the players ball they had. Came, all them women were coming at you, talking about why you hanging out with Kev and all this stuff. They've been doing that and they've been planting that seed ever fucking since.
Right. But and another thing I got a problem with though, what I'm saying is if Kel fuck me like that, why you recapping the live and going over that shit? Why I'm recapping the live and going over that shit? I know you motherfucking lying. I sat up in your motherfucking box, nigga. Why I talked to you after that? Why you didn't ask me that on the phone, Rick? Why you didn't ask me that on the phone? I stopped my recap. What the fuck you want me to? I know you fucking lying. So I'm supposed to just sit back and let y'all just kick my motherfucking ass around here, but have me in a fucking box while you kumbaya with a nigga that done threatened my life, and I'm supposed to be one of your best friends. You talk to me more than you talk to your own brother, but you got some nigga up in your fucking box that done threatened my life and admit that you yourself admitted that I paid $24,000+ on.